gentlemen. We are the Joe Project, and we are here to present a sustainable water solution for Haiti. We chose to name our project after the Haitian word for water in hopes that our organization will become synonymous with clean water in the minds of the Haitian people. I'm Jean.
I'm Sahab.
I'm Zach.
I'm Mohammed.
And I'm Elliot.
Water is the liquid of life. As vital as the air you breathe, water is delivered to us where we need it, whenever we want it. Turn a faucet, and there is water.
So according to the UN, water is the single most important aspect for human health and economic growth. 1 out of every 8 children in a third world country dies before their 5th birthday due to unsanitary water. Yet for every dollar spent on water cleansing, there could be a $12 growth in a third world country's GDP.
So why doesn't Haiti have clean water?
There's absolutely no guarantee for sanitary water in Haiti, which is why 89% of the population, nearly 9 million people, have no access to running water. And that was all before the earthquake struck. Some NGOs have been trying to bring in clean water, but they either don't distribute enough or they use chemicals in their cleansing process.
Clean water and sanitation can help save the lives of countless children, support progress in education, and help liberate those with waterborne illness from poverty. Currently, Haiti has the highest rates of infant mortality, maternal mortality, and malnutrition within the Americas. Acute diarrheal disease is the highest cause of death among children and the second most common form of death among the general public. The Joe Project will help supply Haiti's most populous area, the coastline, with clean water. The ocean will give us an endless supply of water, and advances in technology have made salt water accessible. Reverse osmosis is an accessible form and useful form to give clean water to the Haitians.
Molecules always disperse to regions of low concentration. In this example, the yellow and green molecules are too big to move into the region of low concentration on the left. The small blue and red water molecules move left to right to balance the concentrations. This phenomenon is called osmosis. What if we could somehow reverse osmosis and catch all large molecules as water flows across a membrane? The Joe Project will use reverse osmosis to desalinate the Haitian seawater. In this example, rocks and dirt represent salt, and the fabric represents the semi-permeable membrane. The technology uses pressure to force seawater across the membrane. The rocks and dirt particles are trapped by the membrane, allowing fresh water to flow freely into the collection chamber.
Reverse osmosis is the best desalination process for 3 reasons. Firstly, it is cost effective. The only costs are energy costs needed to energize the pumps. Secondly, it is sustainable. Since most of the process involves water moving across the membranes, it is environmental friendly. And lastly, it is culturally accepted in Haiti. The only problem is purity, and since the water uses no purity, it's fine. The energy requirements for geothermal energy are quite high when compared with other water supplying methods, but low when compared with with other geothermal energy forms. Pressure exchanges will reduce energy demand, and lastly, exchange reverse systems will allow manufacturers to cut energy supply by half of the amount. The Fukuoka plant in Japan will allow the plant to produce 13 million gallons of water per day, which is enough to supply 2.5 million Haitians. It's also 2 stories high, and it can withstand the largest of earthquakes.
We will build the first desalination unit in Cap Haitien, a city of 200,000 people on Haiti's northern seaboard. Cap Haitien is a relatively developed city and was not extremely damaged during the recent earthquake. As many of the city's NGOs have left for Port-au-Prince, Cap Haitien has suddenly found itself in need. The Joe Project will follow a timeline of installation similar to that of other desalination efforts, and we strive to begin providing water in 7 years. This timeline includes raising funds, receiving legislative approval, and building the entire reverse osmosis complex. Though the plant will be able to power itself, we will employ many Haitians. We intend to employ several thousand people in the initial construction phases and keep 100 or so on to maintain the plant's operation. Due to decreased NGO aid, many people are in need of work, and we can guarantee long-term employment paying over the minimum wage at $5.50 an hour.
Installation of the first plant will cost approximately $145 million. Upon completion, we expect costs similar to that of a reverse osmosis plant in Singapore, just 0.9 cents per gallon. Currently, Haitians spend 75 cents per day on water. That's 3/4 of their daily income. The $145 million necessary for the plant will come from a mixture of bank loans and venture capitalist investments. Aquasure, the firm hired to install and construct the plant, will also hold a stake in the firm. In just 20 years, investors can expect a return of 2 times their initial investment.
We've decided to partner with Nestle because of the company's continual effort to promote a healthier lifestyle. We believe that we also believe that the company's great efforts to promote energy will allow us to go in and give a more sustainable impact on water.
So by charging just 2 cents per gallon, Haitians are only going to be spending 10 cents per day on their water, which is greatly going to reduce their financial burden. So from this, our profit will be just over 1 cent per gallon, and since our plant can produce 13 million gallons per day, we're expecting to earn about $143,000 per day, or $47 million per year, thereby breaking even in just 3 years. And ultimately, we'd like to expand all throughout Haiti. Our immediate hope, though, is to provide a second desalination unit to Port-au-Prince after the city has been slightly rebuilt. After 10 years of successful operations in Cap-Haïtien, we expect to begin construction on a second unit in Haiti's capital.
As we've reiterated, clean water is imperative for everyday life and for the future of every Haitian, like little Gavin here. We hope that through the Joe Project we can help Haitians stabilize their lives and move forward to a brighter future.
Thank you.
Thanks.